None of my family were entrepreneurs. They were taught that broke mentality. Go to work. Get a good. No, let's start over. Get a good education. Go to work for 40 years, for 40 hours a week to retire on 40%. You're struggling on 100. How you gonna make it on 40, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Prison for something I didn't do. I tell people I'm Joseph. I went to prison, but that was the most humbling experience. And at the same time, that was the best experience of my life, because poverty, there's violence.
Yeah.
Because people are so angry. It's animosity.
Nothing else better to do.
Yes, nothing to do. That's
yes.
Right. But Harriet Tubman also said she would have freed more slaves if they knew they was
a slave. Yeah.
Romeo and I actually is doing a partnership with his tech company called Astrum, right?
Okay.
With an S. Billions of dollars in 36 months. And then they'll be, they'll be paid on a monthly basis. And we are setting people up to be able to sit in rooms and sit at tables with people they only see on television.
Welcome to Life Her Podcast, the podcast that guides you from the 9-to-5 grind to the freedom of your own path. Discover how to conquer life's challenges while pursuing your passions with unwavering faith. Because being an entrepreneur is not easy. So let's get to it.
Hey everyone, I am Yvette Lloyd, host of Life Her Podcast. We have an amazing guest with us today. She is my sister. We are close friends. She is a multi-millionaire. She is doing big things in Houston, and she's always done big things here in Akron, Ohio. And now she flew here from Houston on other circumstances, but I'm glad she's here. Tiff, what's up? Man, listen, like we ain't talked the other day.
It's better to just see.
Man, I know. Be out the way too.
Yeah.
So what's going on with what you got going on? Because I know you just did an amazing event. My sister's keeper, my brother's keeper. You had Houston on lock. And then you had Romeo there too.
Yes. So Romeo and I are business partners. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We are business partners. And yes, we are my husband and I are taking my sister's keeper, my brother's keeper conference on the road. So our first stop was Orlando, Florida in March. And just in November, we had my sister's keeper, my brother's keeper, Houston. And the next stop is Akron, Ohio.
Okay. So I want to push it back a little bit. You started from the bottom, all the way at the bottom. And, a lot of times people don't understand how to step outside of their comfort zone and get uncomfortable and build a brand. You have built an amazing brand with people literally all over the world, even internationally. And how did you do that? Because, the quietness of some people that they have, like me,
right,
or people that's building a brand, they don't understand, get outside of your hometown and venture out.
I always tell people that your target audience is not your friends and family. That's the hardest thing for people. And yes, I started from the bottom. I'm straight from the 330 like you. Food stamps, welfare, all of that kind of stuff. So what I had to do, the way that I was able to get out in 2009, the journey started in 2009 when I became an entrepreneur. And, none of my family were entrepreneurs. They were taught that broke mentality. Go to work. Let's start over. Get a good education. Go to work for 40 years, for 40 hours a week to retire on 40%. You're struggling on 100. How you gonna make it on 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember, my from the pit to the palace story. In prison for something I didn't do. I tell people I'm Joseph. I went to prison, but that was the most humbling experience. And at the same time, that was the best experience of my life, because had I not went there, I wouldn't have got here. So my sergeant from the prison, a little bit after a year after I came home, he found me on Facebook and introduced me to a company. He invited me to a business meeting in Beechwood, Ohio. I never forget. It was a Monday night. It was freezing. It was cold like it is now.
For real.
And he hit me up on Facebook in the inbox and he said something to me that was so profound. He said, I got some people coming in town today. I want to help some people change their lives. I have an opportunity. Listen, an opportunity that will change people's lives. And the first thing I thought about was scam, because we always thought that things are scams, right? And his next sentence changed my life. He said, "It's free to get the information, but it's up to you what you do with the information."
Mm,
So I said, okay, when I heard the word free, because I had the broke mentality, right? We think
Right.
everything's supposed to be free.
yes.
So when I heard free, that grabbed me. And I remember picking up the phone, calling my girlfriend, because, Beach was about 35 minutes away. And it was a Monday night. It was cold. It was snow outside. I didn't really want to ride up there by myself, but I was a single mom of 3. And I said, "Look, I'm already at the bottom. I can't go no lower." Right. So I called her and the phone rang one time and I heard the Lord say, "Hang up." He said, "This blessing is just for you." So I went, and that was the very first time I ever seen Black excellence. I met a man that became my mentor, and he was making $250,000 every 30 days. And I wasn't even making $25,000 a year.
Goodness.
So, and first thing I thought, scam, pyramid scheme. That's what we was talking about.
Yeah.
All of that's a
Don't be
pyramid
going to
scheme.
that mess if you're at the hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, the end, he said, "Does anybody have any questions or concerns?" I was the first person to raise my hand. And he said, "Well, what's your question or concern?" I said, "Well, my mama told me stuff like this was a pyramid scheme." He said, "That's because your mama got a broke mentality." Oh, I was ready to fight, right? Because who mama you talking about in front of 350 people?
Yeah, I'm too old by.
And he saw me, and my husband always say, he said, "You don't have a poker face. So whatever I'm thinking is on my face."
Mm-hmm.
So he saw me getting pissed off. He's like, "Wait a minute, I'm not being disrespectful. Just hear me out." Okay, he said, "I want to change your money, but first I got to change your mind." He said, "Because money's not the issue. If I give you more money and you don't have the mindset, you're going to go get more things. And then you're going to blow the money." And so he said, "Would you trade bank accounts with your mom?" I'm like, "Trade bank accounts?" He's like, "Yeah, today, would you trade bank accounts with her?" And I said, "No, help my mom." I'm like, "Did y'all hear what she just said?" And clearly, I didn't hear what I said, or the
Right.
350 people, right? But they're like, what's she saying? He said, "She told me that she's taking financial advice from somebody that she's helping financially." Make it make sense.
Oh, it don't make sense.
He said, "Now your mom can teach you how to be a great mom, a great wife, a great cook, a great woman of God, but she cannot be your financial advisor because she can't teach you how to do something she's never done." He said, that even goes with your pastor. If your pastor is not financially where you want to be, he can't be your financial. He can be your spiritual advisor, not your financial advisor. So at that moment, he said, "Let me tell you he said, if you let me coach and mentor you for 24 months, your life will never be the same." He said, "But let me tell you where a lot of people get hung up at, in the circle."
That's true.
He said, "So when it becomes uncomfortable to change your circle, you won't be able to sustain what comes along with it. So you'll go back to what's familiar."
Mm-hmm.
But I knew at the time I was a single mom of 3. My mom wasn't in the best health. My brothers needed me. So I was the go-to person for everybody. And so I was able to get with him and he was able to deprogram me and reprogram me. So then I started getting with people that had my solution and not my problem. And then I learned early in the game is that people join companies. They don't join companies, they join people.
That's
So
true.
you have to, so the brand that I wanted to build. So I started really building Six Figure Chicks way back then. I wanted to build a brand where women can have a safe space to come to, where they can, get along, where all of us can win. Because I started to now sit at tables where people was not on welfare. It wasn't on food stamps. They actually lived in $1 million homes and were debt free and driving brand new cars. And it wasn't about so much the stuff. It was more so about the freedom.
Yeah.
It was more so about the freedom. So what I did was, and it was very uncomfortable. So I prayed and I said, "Lord, whoever's supposed to be with me, let them go with me. And whoever is not, let us just go our separate ways. But I don't want it to be beef." And sometimes people can make beef out of nothing.
The simplest thing.
Yeah, they so offended. And I said, my children's future rely on me. So do I want friends or do I want to build my children's future? And because at the time, like I said, I was a single mom of 3. So if something happened to me, who was going to take care of them? My parents couldn't do it because they didn't have the means.
Right.
It wasn't like they wouldn't have done it if they didn't have the means. And then when he started showing me, what does your last name look like? What drives you? So my drive, people don't even understand my drive today. Like I still get up and grind hard like I'm broke. I don't understand how broke people sleep.
Man, I don't understand it either. I don't. And like what you talking about, like as far as like millionaire mindset and everything, I've been around, I be around.
Right.
I be around millionaires, and I just recently developed a friendship with 2 billionaires. And it is so refreshing to actually sit there and talk to them, because it'll be a point where you just feel so alone when you're not around people like that and with that mindset. And then when you're around people that isn't, you will feel like, man, why am I going through this? And why are they treating me this way? And why did you have so many whys, but you not understanding that's not where you're supposed to be no more. And then when you sit down and talk to a bunch of millionaires at the table, the conversation is the same and it's different at the same time, because they've been through what you've been through, and they could teach us how to cope with it, how to not deal with it no more, just set boundaries off top. And what I learned too, a lot of millionaires got spiritual advisors.
Absolutely.
They have it heavy.
So one thing, the more money I got, the more closer I got to God.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you have to be spiritually in tune, because the thing that the enemy hates is financial freedom.
Yes.
So that's why when you come to a city like this and you see a lot of poverty, you get a lot of pushback, because that is it's like a disease. You know how we say jealousy is a disease? Mm-hmm. Poverty, that's why my shirt says generational curse breaker. And it tells you what a generational curse breaker is. And it says a person committed to building legacy by breaking the cycle of emotional, mental, and financial poverty that previously plagued their lineage. So it's like a generational curse when you're placed with poverty. That's why where there's poverty, there's violence. Yep. Because people are so angry. It's so animosity.
Nothing else better to do.
Yes, nothing to do. Nothing else better to
lose.
Nothing to lose. So this is what my mentor told me. This is why my circle changed rapidly. And I can't even tell you what those people are doing today because I don't know.
Yep, I don't need.
We don't have anything in common. No. So he told me, he said, you can't be in the comma zone and the drama zone. You got to pick one. Mm-hmm. He said, you notice that the broke people have more drama than anybody. And I'm not telling you that we don't have drama, but we have emotional intelligence, so we deal with drama differently.
Yeah.
And so he said, and we pick and choose our battles. We don't wake up every morning because why? That's costing us money. He said, so what I want you to do is start, and this is another thing, it's a mindset. He said, what I want you to do is start filling your mind with not only just affirmations, but I want you to start reading books. So I started reading books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, I wanted people, I started reading books like The 10 Distinctions Between Middle Class and Millionaires, because the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he, right? Mm-hmm. So if you think small, you're going to be small. This is why me and you have so much in common, because we don't know how to do small.
Yeah.
And it's either we're going to do it big or not at all, because God had created us to stand out. And so the Bible also said a prophet is not honored in his own home. So when you come from a small place like this, and people don't understand that, you don't think you're better than everybody, but you want more. It's more than life. It's more than life than Madison Avenue. Mm-hmm. It's more than life than the club. It's more than, so when you start hanging with people that are doing the things that you want to do, your mindset changes. So that's why you feel uncomfortable in a room when you go back and try to pull the broke mind out. And then 4 years in a row, I got the Harriet Tubman Award, right? And we all know Harriet Tubman freed a lot of slaves, right?
Yes.
But Harriet Tubman also said she would have freed more slaves if they knew they was
a slave. Yeah.
So a lot of people are comfortable in situations that's not even comfortable.
Yeah.
So when you try to get them uncomfortable, your light irritates their demons because now they're overtaken by darkness.
Yeah.
That's another thing where there's poverty is darkness over cities that are very the whole city is impoverished, right? So when your light come in the room, they're irritated, even though God sent you in the room to break the generational curses to help them. They're intimidated by the help.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are where they are right now. And he told me something so profound. He said, every level requires a different you.
It do. And it's every level was hurtful.
I just want to so hurt.
It hurts so bad. You'd be like, oh my God. But as time progressed, you're like, okay, I know why this happened. And I got a blessing coming.
Absolutely.
What you got coming for me now, God? And it's like after so long, you just be on chill mode and to talk to God more and during those times. And people don't be understanding that. They don't. And they need to.
If you don't got a relationship with God, I don't know what to, especially this day and age. If you don't have a relationship with the Lord, you are setting you and your blood. Like, it ain't just you. That's what I tell people. Like, I made a post the other day that said everything attached to me wins. So everything attached to you either is going to win or is going to lose. The decisions that you make will affect your marriage. It will affect your bloodline. And it's funny because I speak on stages globally, right? I speak on stages that people don't even speak English. They Google translate me and they still pay me. Mm-hmm. So I know that that's God because Tiffany couldn't have done that on her own, right? Now that I'm just a kid from Akron, right? And been in trouble and, I was counted out and was a single mom and all of that stuff. And I tell people like, I know God set me up with that because even at my lowest moment, when it was just him and I in the prison cell, he showed me my highest moment. He showed me speaking on stages and arenas. He showed me. So what I'm doing now, saw that in 2007. I saw that almost 18 years ago. He showed it to me because I always tell people, if you can see it, you can seize it.
Yeah.
So he showed it to me, but it took time to come to fruition. And another thing, a lot of people, they want your success, but they don't want to do your work.
No, they don't. Okay, so you say like, as far as somebody wanting your success, right? So, dig this though.
Okay, I'm listening.
I feel like when you in a road to success and you bring in people with you, it is so difficult after so long when you grow so big. A lot of times you give someone a position, they don't know how to work that position. When you give someone, you need to ask them questions as far as what do you know how to do? What are you good at? And you put them in that position. However, a lot of people want to be the CEO and they can't be the CEO. A lot of people want to be the president, can't be the president. A lot of people be the vice president, can't be the vice president. A lot of people want to be the treasurer. You can't be the treasurer. No. People need to understand their lane and their path and understand that what I do, you can't do too. And it's okay.
That's right.
You just have to figure out exactly where are you supposed to be so you could get there instead of focusing on that other person and their journey. You still got to figure you out. You still got to love yourself. You still got to build a relationship with God too. And that is the most difficult thing for people to be at because that's where our pain come in because we see their potential. And then when we tell them their potential, they think it's an attack when it's coming from love and we're trying to position you. We put you in a room, work the room. If you in the room, that means I'm putting you on. Absolutely. You there for a reason. You wouldn't be there on your own.
Absolutely.
So work the room like you're supposed to. And that's why I'm positioning you. But we can't hold everybody's hand.
And that's one of the hardest things. My husband tells me that all the time. And then an apostle actually just told me that after my event in Houston. What I'm finding out is after every event, God is purging certain people.
Yeah.
Because my heart is so big. My husband always tell me, he said, you're a walking target.
Girl.
He said, and you tell me the same thing too. He's like, your light's so bright. You attract bugs that bite.
You do.
And so my heart's so big. And because I came from the bottom, because I know the struggle. But this is one thing I want to say to what you just said as far as being the CEO. you better be able to handle the warfare that comes with it.
Man, listen.
Because
It comes heavy.
Yes, anytime you're the head of something, that's why you notice in the church, whose kids get attacked the most?
The pastors.
Why? Because he's leading the movement. God put him in place. And few are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. So when I made a post about that the other day about being the chosen. And when you are chosen, it's like you're carrying the weight of the world. Because some days I wake up, I'm like, girl, Lord, I know you say you give your toughest battles to your strongest soldier, but I don't want to be that today.
Man, listen.
Be that today because the hell that come along with it,
a lot.
You better be ready for it. So I think people see finance because they want the money because they don't have it at the moment.
Right? And more money, more problems.
Puffy tried to tell them the situation.
Yeah,
but I think people want the financial aspect of it. They don't understand the responsibilities that come along with it.
It's a lot.
They don't understand the warfare that comes along with it. So if you're the leader of anything at any time, so I do a lot of ministry and marketplace because like when I did the Biggest Boss Conference 2 years ago, I brought 2 billionaires to the event. I got 2 friends that are billionaires as well. So I brought them to the event and they flew their private jets there. They was on vacation with their family. They like, look, we left our family in the DR. We came to come do what you asked us to do. And then we're going back to where our families are. And that was one of the things that we talked about is, being the CEO it's not glitz and glam. And I sometimes feel like as a CEO that people that work a job sometimes have it better than us because at least on a job, if your parent die, you get bereavement, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're a CEO, if you don't kill it, you don't eat it. So if your mama died tomorrow, you still got to get up and show up for the business, regardless of what's going on. When your kids acting crazy, you still got to show up. If your marriage is going through something, you still have to show up. And some people, one little thing can take them out and it'll wipe out their whole business. And then you got to realize if you have a business with people that are attached to you, their family's life and income and all of that is attached to you. So you can't quit because you got all these people linked to you. Yeah. So everybody want to be the CEO, but they don't want to go through the CEO warfare. They don't want to do the CEO work. Like I told you, I just flew here yesterday. Out of here tomorrow morning on the next flight. Like the grind don't stop. And I lost both of them. So watch this. I lost my dad. April 2020, I lost my mom September 2021. I lost my father-in-law January 2022. But guess who still had to get up and show up?
Tiffany.
Who still had to get up and show up?
Yeah.
Because it's so many lives. It's thousands of lives. I have business partners in 8 different countries. Can't not. If I quit, what's going to happen to their business?
That fall.
And that's what I'm saying. So a lot of people can't even carry the weight. They think they want to.
Man, they think.
I've never prayed to God for money.
Man, me either.
I prayed to God to give me strategies to get wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I can sit you at a table. And that's the thing. This is the sad part about our people. We'll give them rooms. Like you said, I'll put you in the room with I'm not a gatekeeper. People in rooms with celebrities all the time. Even when I call, I'm like, "Vet, we have to get this money together." Because what I do understand is that service to many leads to greatness. I wish somebody would have came back and got me sooner because I probably would have
Me too. Me too, but we the curse breakers. You know, I'm the first in my family to even start opening a business and working this route. So they discouraging me, telling me not to do it. Go get a job, go to college. And I'm like, no, this is what I want to do. Like, this is it. You know, I struggled for years.
Right.
Years struggled.
Right.
Car repossession, all types of stuff, losing a business. And that people don't understand when you lose a business, you still got to pay Uncle Sam.
Oh, yeah. They still want their money.
Thousands. You know what I'm saying? You got them payroll taxes. That stuff is heavy, you know, and it's a lot to come with it. People may laugh on the other end,
right?
Like, oh, she failed. But they don't understand on the other side of that failure is success. Because you're going to continue to grow. You learned something.
Right.
And you about to level up and be in a room with somebody that could relate just like you and tell you how to strategize it a different way.
Well, one thing, a lot of the business owners that I know that are billionaires and millionaires, they said if you've never lost a business, you're never going to be successful. Yeah. You got to lose to win. And a lot of things, people just win. I know the song say, all I do is win. But in business, there's ups and downs.
Yes,
and some
it
people
is.
that's why this is the reason why I say people have to have a relationship with the Lord, because you'll see a CEO jump off of a building
Yeah.
because of the business went under. But really, God allowed that business to go under because He had bigger plans for you.
Mhm.
But a lot of people can't get past. One thing I learned to not do at a young age, because I felt like the black sheep, outcast,
Yeah.
the different one. So I was the one that now I've noticed at almost 50 that God really had set me apart as a little girl. And sometimes that could be lonely. That could feel like, why is me? Why I gotta go through that? Why people treating me like this? And I'm the one that's going through. I'm putting up my money. I'm taking my time and effort, and I'm trying to put people on that I ain't even cool with like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to
want to see that because you see the potential.
Absolutely. And then the funny part about it is God had just checked me at my last event, because for the last 18 years, I've been building these relationships. These relationships, like you, the relationships didn't fall in your lap. You had to get out there and do the work. They had to trust you. You had to earn your position, right? So what I've learned was I went out there and did the work and earned the positions, but the position that I had to earn, I was just giving it to people.
Mm-hmm.
And so God told me this. And then Apostle, what I was saying earlier, she told me, she said, Tiffany, start slow walking with people. She said, because if you walk it slow, they'll show you who they are.
Yeah.
She said, stop just giving people stuff, make them earn it like you had to earn it.
And build them to respect you.
Yeah, and build them to, because what'll happen is will start treating you like you common.
Yeah.
Or they'll start treating you like you owe them.
Yeah.
I don't owe you nothing because nobody owed me nothing.
Right.
But like you said, you see the potential in people and you like, dang, they struggling. I don't want to see them struggle. I want my kids to have stuff. So then you try to give them a seat at the table when their mind is not ready. So then they start looking at you as competition, and you the one that invited them to the table. So now they want to take your table.
Wait. No, wait. Seriously, that is just crazy. So you saying bringing everybody to the table, you want to help people, you want to change the mindset, you want to do so much, and you're bringing it here.
Yeah.
To
Akron, Ohio. And when I come here, y'all, I just look around first and be like, I can't believe I ever lived here.
I can't believe I'm still living here.
Baby, I live back to get you.
Well,
I have to take this on the road.
Well, I live in other places, but I need to permanently do it.
Right. And so I was just talking to my brothers about this on the phone on the way over here. It's like, when you get out and then you come back and try to get the people and they so hostile, they're angry, they get it, but don't push away the people that God sent to bless you. You saying, I'm praying for the breakthrough. I'm praying for God to open up doors. But when it shows up at your doorstep, you don't even know how to recognize it. So I keep telling people, asking God to order your steps if you're not going to move your feet.
Man, listen.
So Akron, Ohio, we're bringing this here. I'm bringing, it's going to be ministry and marketplace, because I keep God first in everything that I do. I know where my help comes from. It doesn't come from people. People change 1 second I ain't going to even say day to day. They change from second to second, depending on what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
And so we're bringing Jacqueline Carr. We are bringing Romeo Miller. Actually, Romeo and I are going on a tour about our partnership. And so I'm bringing him here. He's excited to come. And I just want to, my husband and I'm not going to say I, it's we. We just want to free as many as people as possible, but I want to free the people that want to be free.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to try to have to drag nobody, because at this point, I don't even have the energy to do that anymore. And that's what my last event showed me, what I was saying about Harriet Tubman. She would have freed more slaves if they knew they was a slave. So in this season, I'm not begging anybody to get wealth. I'm not begging, because at the last at least 15 of the years, I've been dragging people to the finish line. I've been dragging people to the finish line and tell them, if your bank account don't motivate you, what can I do?
Nothing.
Okay. So Romeo and I actually brought some today because I wanted the people to see them. Romeo and I actually is doing a partnership with his tech company called Astrom, right?
Okay.
And so Astrom is a tech company. But tech, if nobody knows, tech is the way to be able to become a billionaire. I sat with millionaires for 10 plus years. It was time for me to elevate my conversation.
Yes.
Right? Because my goal was, this is the goal that the Lord gave me, to create 100 millionaires. But in order for me to create 100 millionaires, I had to be a billionaire. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So tech is one of the best ways to make $1 billion. Beats by Dre made $1 billion in 24 months.
He did.
And he didn't partner with anybody. Mm-hmm. And I'm not mad at Dre. Dre did that for his family. He wanted to leave generational wealth, what we talk about, right? So I'm not mad at him. But the difference between us and him is that we are getting ready to put on communities. We are putting on colleges. We're getting ready to put on schools. I have some Christian rappers that work with me, that is traveling with me on tour, that I'm actually bringing to Ohio as well. We're getting ready to sign their whole record label. So it's about 30 of them that are Christian rappers. They all have their own following. They fire too. And so those my Bato brothers out in California. What's up, Kingdom Music? Shout out to EGR. So we are partnering with people. I'm going to partner with some school systems, because I want the proceeds to have a way to be able, instead of us selling popcorn and keys and all of that stuff, I'm looking to get a real income to be able to create programs to keep these children out of jail and out of give them positive things to do. Colleges, now that college players can now get paid, I want them to be able, because the reality of it all, I actually was talking to one of the coaches who helps these guys go to the NFL and NBA. So the sad reality of it all is that a lot of us try to teach our kids they got to be athletes to get wealth, right? And even if they make it and they sign on to a college, that does not guarantee that they go into the league, right? Yeah. Even if they make it to the league, that don't mean that they're going to be a star player. So don't just set them up for failure, because if they only have their mind set on one thing and they think they're going to make it to the league and don't, now they're lost. Yeah. So I want to be able to put something like this in their hand where they have an opportunity to make even more money than that. I don't know a billionaire that was the NFL. I don't know a billionaire that played in the NBA outside of LeBron James. So I don't know anybody that's a billionaire that's an athlete. So now we got something even better than the NFL and NBA. So tech is one of the biggest things. When we talk about tech, a tech company, we're talking about what we got to hear: cameras, smartwatches, cell phones, tablets. In a minute, we're going to have our own computers. But the segue in the headphones. So when we looked at the company that we're actually working with out of California, they actually are the creator for Beats by Dre. Okay. So these are, I let my brother sample these last night, and these are actually like Beats by Dre on steroids. And these are just the ear pods. Mm-hmm. So we have the big headphones. So I definitely want to get you some signature headphones for your podcast. So I'm going to be partnering.
Let me show you something real quick.
Okay.
So look. Look, so I was going to surprise you and tell you I've been using these already. I can tell you. I've been using them for a while. Ain't nothing but hello.
Well, we're gonna have the signature. Yeah, so those are actually
listen.
But look, our logo is gonna be on them. So our logo, I'm the founder of Six Figure Chicks, but what I didn't want to do, so we have two brands: Faith Over Fear, which is our ministry brand. Mm-hmm. And I am the founder of Six Figure Chicks, but I didn't want to use the Six Figure Chick logo because I didn't want to just limit it to women. Right. We would, especially if we're talking about we taking this to schools and we're going to take this to the HBCUs, the Divine Nine, wherever y'all at. I want to partner with y'all, and we want to be able to have our own AKA headphones, our own Delta, Sigma Theta, all of those. So when I tell you our conversations and our meetings, we did a meeting on the other day on Zoom. Let me just talk numbers with you for a second. So I told you Beats by Dre did $1 billion in 24 months. Mm-hmm. No partnerships. Because you can't just pick up the phone and call Beats by Dre and say, hey, I want to partner with you.
Right.
You can't pick up the phone and call Astrom. Actually, the only person that has partnered with Astrom that's not a celebrity. Jazzy Faye is partner, so he's getting ready to have his own. So it's not like you can pick up the phone and say, I want to be your partner, right? And I'm mad at Dre. Dre did that for his family legacy.
Definitely.
So our thought process is we want to go into break the generational curses. We want, like, football teams and basketball teams. I'm even thinking about, I didn't go to Booker, but I'm thinking about making some 1040 headphones, because one thing about it, now we can put that money back into the school system.
Yes.
We can give them their own income. Same thing with the church. We can give them their own income off of tech, which is billions of dollars.
It is.
We can stimulate the economy ourselves. We don't need a stimulus check. So what I'm going to do is partner. So you can keep those, but I'm going to have some with our logo on them, and it says faith over fear, because you can't have both.
No.
You can't pray and have fear. And fear is false evidence appearing real. This is why I want you to get out of your shell, because that's how I used to be. People see me on stage now in my element. I'm like, baby, the first time I did a speaking engagement, they had to call 911 to Fairline, Ohio, at the Holiday Inn, because I had a panic attack and couldn't breathe.
What?
But because it was fear. When I said I was overcome with fear, it was something like I never seen. It felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. But once I got over that fear, it was like, boom. When I'm on the stage, it's like, it come on. They be like, and a lot of times it be the Holy Spirit speaking through me. So I can't even tell people, like, that was so profound. I was ready to say it again. Like, I can't.
Yeah,
I'm like, I gotta go back and watch the recording, because script.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I'll sit up and write trainings and all of that stuff, and then on the day of, right before I go on stage and pray, because my prayer is always, Lord, you know what the people need. I don't. So give me the words to help them. So sometimes I have made this whole slideshow. I get on there, he switch it. Yeah. So that was kind of like with these headphones. So, 2 years ago when I did the Biggest Boss Conference, I brought Master P and Romeo as I wanted them to see father and son. We all know about generational curses, but I wanted them to see the generational curse breakers.
Yeah.
And we know about poverty. I wanted them to see generational wealth coming from people that look like us, right? So I brought both of them, and me and Romeo created this relationship. And it was so profound. It was like God put us together and I told him, because he was going through a lot of stuff in the media with his dad. And I said, guess what? God is going to vindicate. God is putting us together for something bigger than a conference. And we talk about mental health so much, and I was just checking on his mental health, because I seen all of the stuff he was going through. His baby is sick, him and his dad is into it. It was just so many things that was going on, and I knew they were distractions, because I was looking at it from the spiritual side, right? Once again, when you the boss,
man,
the enemy
listen,
the
all the time.
Then his sister had just overdosed a couple of months before, so she passed away. So they were dealing with all kinds of pain. But we stayed in contact, and I called him on his regular number. And one morning he messaged me, because I messaged him about joining the tour for My Sister's Keeper, My Brother's Keeper. And he said, I'm with it. He said, it's funny because I'm getting ready to launch a tech company. And when I was in prayer, the Lord showed me your face. Oh, he's like, because you the plug for real. Like, people don't understand. He's like, I love the fact that you're so humble, but you the plug for, like, you motivate me. He's like, man, people wasn't checking on me and stuff like that. He said, you just don't know. Like, when you were sending me them text messages, I was in a dark place. And he said, I feel like God is bringing this thing full circle. He said, because when people partner in companies like this, they bring in 6 and 7 figures to the table to invest, right? They are. So they can invest in a partnership to be able to make billions of dollars. And he was saying how people were trying to invest with him. And he was like, no, I had to respectfully decline, because the Lord showed me that this is going to be something to be able to grow God's people, to be able to grow. He said, and one thing about you, I know you ain't lazy, you passionate. You connected to people all around the world. We even gonna have the ones that are actually for certain countries, Jamaica and different places. And so he called me. He said, I really want you to be a 50-50 partner with me. I said, what? Yeah, I really want you to be. He said, can you get on Zoom in about an hour, baby? And you just don't even know, because I was laying in the bed, because I always, every quarter, I ask God, give me a new strategy. Give me a new strategy. Give me a new strategy, because things are constantly evolving and changing, right?
Mhm.
Because what got you here can't get you there.
That's true.
So I said, well, I need a new strategy. He messaged me. He said, can you get on Zoom in an hour? And I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to give you full creative, whatever you can. He said, they can't call extra. He just told them this at the event. He said, now, because y'all see me here, don't think y'all can reach out to me. Like, because people will.
For real, they will.
People on.
They will.
Adore you.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, my relationship is with her. We've built this over the years. And she told me she want to help people. And he said, I told her, let's help as many as people as possible. So that's where we're different with the beats, is that we can put on average everyday people to open up doors for their lineage and their generation and their families. And I'm like, what if your son was the high school football star and he went and everybody got the headphones on the football team? So those are the things that I was talking to him about average everyday people. They're either using this to supplement their income or use it to walk away. And so to open up doors for generational wealth. So there are certain people that I'm already working with that are celebrities, that we're going to be putting them on with their own brand. The Faith Over Fear brand, we want to do a partnership with Life Her. And so the people that think you common and think that you're not the plug, like, they gotta go through you. Because another thing about being a boss is what I had to learn. When it's my baby, I want to be there all the time and cultivate it, right? But what I had to learn as a boss, you have to learn how to delegate.
You do.
You gotta get some people that you can trust in position, to trust them enough to be able to run things. And my goal is for the next 18 months is to go on tours and set people up for success, to set people up to become billionaires with us. And as we add on products, we don't even have to invest anything extra. And so what I actually started, I don't even know if you know, I have something called I'm a Boss University.
Yes, I've seen that.
Did you see my graduation?
Yes.
I'm proud of you. So, and I'm a Boss University is all things money. It's different ways, fix your credit, start a healthcare company, just all different kinds of things, trucking dispatch. It's all different ways that are lucrative ways to make money. So when you join I'm a Boss University, one of the offers is that you can become an affiliate of these headphones.
Okay.
And so what they'll do is the affiliates will receive they'll get their own replicated website.
Okay.
They will get a contract from my company, saying, there's an NDA, there's a non-compete, because we all know we bring people on and we try to help them. They'll try to backdoor you and try to compete with you. So they do have to, I'm just putting it out there, they do have to sign a non-compete. They have to sign an NDA, and they'll get their own replicated website. We're actually getting ready to start. If we don't do it right before Christmas, right after Christmas, even if it's the next day, we are going to start. I have my own media team. They shoot movies and stuff like that. They actually just released a movie. So we're going to start shooting videos. Okay. I want to get all ethnicities, because this is not a Black thing. This is a people thing. I love people.
Yes.
So I want to get the kids in the commercials. I want to get them in the videos. I want to get them in the photo shoots. Because this is what the Bible talks about. Leaving an inheritance to your children's children's children, right? So we can't spend $1 billion in our lifetime. No. And so when we did the numbers with corporate, and y'all know I'm the numbers lady, they be calling me Rain Man. I just be waking up 6, 7. I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, man, that's this shit. But we talked about the numbers, and it's going to be billions with an S, billions of dollars in 36 months. We are going to do the official launch and everything January 2026. But we are putting people in place to be affiliates right now. Starting next week, they will start receiving their contracts, and then they'll be, they'll be paid on a monthly basis. And we are setting people up to be able to sit in rooms and sit at tables with people they only see on television, with people but they never thought. Some people like, I grew up watching Romeo. I grew up watching this person. Like, and you are really partnered with them. And I take no credit for that. All of that is God. These are the things that he was showing me.
That's true.
When everybody was counting me out.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things. If people really know the story and the backstory to how I got to prison, they would probably have a different respect for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody your friend till it's time to be your friend.
Girl.
Everybody got your back until it's time for them to have your back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look even at those people and I said, I would never want to trade places with them. God took me somewhere to be able to come back and share that's why my book is called From the Pit to the Palace.
Yeah.
Like God put me in the pit, but it's like Joseph. Even when Joseph was in the pit, he had favor.
Yeah.
Even though I was in the pit, I had favor from God. And then when he brought me out the pit, now I can go back and grab those people. But I'm only grabbing the people I want to be grabbed. In this season, my goal is to create 100 millionaires before the Lord come get me. Because if we create 100 millionaires, not only are we stimulating the economy, we're breaking generational curses off of families.
Definitely.
So now they can go back and get their, create. I tell people, if you sign in the back of the check, you built in somebody else's last name.
Sure is.
If your name on the front of the check, you built in your last name.
Yeah.
So now I'm giving people the opportunity to build their last name, to put their name, and it may have our company name on the front of the check, but your name going to be on the front of the check too, because they're in the room because of you. So right now, between now and the first of the year, I want to put in about 150 more affiliates. So when we're going to go full speed ahead like a Ford commercial. So I want to put in 150 more affiliates, but the people that's on board now, what I'm going to allow them to do is to be able to break on affiliates. So they'll be able to, whatever their investment is, they'll be able to make their investment right back and be in profit mode right away, because society has told people that you sign up in a business today, you're supposed to make money today. Mm-hmm. And you as a business owner know that usually your company doesn't see profit 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, it take a while.
Yeah. So the long-term money will be over time, but I want them to get something up front as well, so that they can be taken care of on the front end and they can be taken care of on the back end. So Astrium 6-figure checks, my sister's keeper, my brother's keeper, we are going to have Atrium stations set up there. So Akron will be the first place that has an Atrium station, because we didn't get a chance to set up the Atrium station in Texas, because as you know, when you're doing big deals and you got off, it's not something that happens overnight. You have to, go through some certain hoops. Contracts have to be signed. Their legal team, our legal team has to go over everything to make sure everything is kosher across the board, not just for me, but for the affiliates that we're bringing on board. So I'm excited to be partnering with like her. And what we're going to do is because those, and we have some other headphones as well.
That's raw.
Yeah. So
Listen, I'm telling you, I've been using these, and like the way it secure your ears,
yes,
for you to just hear every sound.
Yes,
when I work out in them, they don't budge. You ain't got to worry about them sliding or nothing. It's just everything about these. I love them. I'm not gonna lie, I love them. I walk around the house listening to YouTube or audiobook or something, and the sound is. It's amazing.
They like beats on steroids.
Yes.
They like beats on steroids.
Yeah, it do. It hit different.
Yeah, and Romeo actually took his time with the developers of this to make so the good thing about having something to give you an idea of what to do, because I think Beats was one of the first and biggest headphones. There were some things like you said that secures the ears, that's not sliding back.
And it come with this case.
Yeah, the case. Not only the case. I want you to feel how heavy. This is what my husband and my brothers were saying last night. So these are actually the earbuds. I want you to feel how heavy the case is and how this is not generic.
Oh no, this ain't.
Oh, the earbuds, the same thing. My brother was like, "Oh my God, those things is off the chain."
Yeah.
So they sit in the ear a certain way. They sit in there. So, because I know a lot of people, my kids was losing their AirPods and things of that nature. So there was some things that was done with these to prevent stuff like that from happening. So he took into consideration every single thing that we felt that could be changed about the prototype that from what we seen in other headphones. And we are projected, like I said, in 36 months to take this thing to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like just like we said, the sound is beats on steroids.
Man, yes.
It's going to be beats on steroids from the income side as well. And I'm coming out the gate, opening up a global affiliate program because I have reached to so many people in so many other countries. So this is not just the United States thing. This is not just a African American thing. This is a people thing.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to reach the masses. We want to be able to bless as many families as possible. We want to make sure that, and like me and Romeo talk about all the time, if we making billions and then we just watching everybody else starve, how good of a leader are you? How big of a coach are you? Just create other coaches. They don't create, just don't create followers. They create leaders.
And blessings.
Yeah. So our goal by 2026 is 2027 is to make as many as multi-millionaires as possible. My goal by then is to have at least 100 to 150 of them. But whatever God sees fit, if he sees 300 of y'all, then that's what it's going to be, 300. But our goal is to, I always say, each one teach one, each one reach one. So that's what we're doing.
Okay. So tell us, how can people get in contact with you? How can they get involved? And also, when is the date for the Akron Sisters and Brothers Keeper?
So they can reach me on Facebook under Tiffany McIntosh. So it's TIFFANY. McIntosh does not have an A. I know a lot of people want to put A in it. So it's McIntosh, and I have the blue check. So if you see the blue check, you know it's me. On Instagram and TikTok is Six Figure Chick. And it's the number 6, and chick does not have a K on the end. So it's Six Figure CHIC. We are going to do a few more partnerships with the headphones. So what you can do is text this number, text the word headphones, all lowercase, to 866-790-0959. That's 866-790-0959. And you can text the word headphones with the S. You'll receive a automatic message back from me, from the team, and they'll tell you steps that you can do to join the actual community. And once you pay to join the community, you just screenshot us the receipt and we'll add you into the community. Our conference is coming to Ohio the last weekend in January. And what you can do, you can actually go buy your tickets right now. So you can go to info.mysisters with an S keeperretreat.com. So that's info.mysisters keeperretreat.com, and just pick Akron. Just click on Akron, get your tickets. If I were you, if I had any kind of brand, if I was a business owner, I would be a vendor at this event. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we are not, the people that I named is not the only people that are coming to the event. I actually am working on other people as we speak, but I just didn't want to say the names because they are confirming dates and then they have to sign a contract. So I didn't want to put their names out there before the contract was signed. But if I were you, I would get in the room. I would get me a table. I would get my youth in the room. And that's another thing. We're teaching the youth entrepreneurship. So if you have a program, I'm tell Vet to get her Fadea girls there. If you have any kind of program or work with the youth, we want them in the building because this is how we're going to actually break the generational curses together.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tiff.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I am too. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Life Her Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and also listen to Life Her Podcast on iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, Apple, all the major platforms. Have a good day.
Welcome to Life Her Podcast, the podcast that guides you from the 9-to-5 grind to the freedom of your own path. Discover how to conquer life's challenges while pursuing your passions with unwavering faith. Because being an entrepreneur is not easy. So let's get to it.